Hello everyone, Lukas here with another video about my Metroidvania project in Unity. Today's video will be a little bit different. It won't be a pure devlog, but a summary of what I've been doing for almost a whole month. In the last video you could see that I tried to remake the game from pixel art to complete different style, but in the end I stayed with the pixel art. So the work has slowed down a little bit, and I hope that the next few weeks would be different and I would do a lot of work. Your comments and likes on my devlogs have inspired me to get off my butt and finally start to bring this game to the next level. But the truth is, it did not happen. I try to do something on the project every day, but most of the time I just started the game and run and jump around the screen over and over and over again. And I didn't actually do anything at all, day after day. I even stopped work on the game entirely for a few days to make a completely different video game. A quick short survival top-down shooter with zombies. And it was actually fun to make it, and I thought it would make a great video of how I made the game in 2 or 3 days for the channel. Something different from just devlogs, you know. But I changed my mind. I thought I would do it later, and I wanted to finish at least one of my projects, so I went back to Metroidvania. But the problem is that after seeing how much work lay ahead of me, I was completely scared. I used to think how easy it all is. You make character movement, make countless screens, and add enemies and the game is done. But that's a complete lie. You have to make a story, dialogues, menu, UI graphics, inventory system, save and load system, animations, lots of animations, level design for each room, music, sound effects and much more. The list is endless. And I have to admit that it's a lot of work, and that's the reason I was struggling the whole time. I was overwhelmed. But don't worry, the project is not cancelled, I won't give up this time. But there was a local game development event coming up in a few days, and me and my colleague from our indie game studio Troglodyte, we wanted to show off our project we were working on together, the Happy's Ember Falcon. Check it out on the Steam, it's a casual game about flying a hot air balloon. Anyway, since we didn't even think about this project for several months, because we were each doing our own things, during the week I had to refresh a bit what I have programmed and improve some stuff on the game to have something to show. We added new graphics, created a new main menu and so on. And because it wasn't just a game dev event, but there were also comic books, sci-fi and fantasy movies or desk games, it was really great. There were also lectures, for example from Bohemia Interactive, creators of DayZ or Arma, so I also gained some new knowledge and it was really fun and we had a great weekend. After this amazing experience I was motivated to start working on my project again. So I thought I'd check out other Metroidvanias for inspiration on what to do next, and I realized that there are plenty of Metroidvanias like mine, which take inspiration from Hollow Knight, and I don't want to make a game that gets lost among 1,000 others. There are already so many games released every day that it's hard to stand out without good marketing or a bit of luck. So I started thinking how to make my game unique, what to add or remove. First I decided to add guns and remove melee attacks. I hate making attacks animations, so this was by far so easiest decision. But then, fantasy with guns, that's not quite right. So another change was the setting of the game, from a fantasy world to post-apocalyptic or cyberpunk world. And this was, I think, a great idea, because I've been looking to see if there's any post-apo Metroidvania in development, and I've actually found 1 or 2 maybe, so I see a chance for success here. I added guns to the game, it was quite simple, I just tweaked a little bit the shooting arrows I've already had, then I replaced some sprites to make it more apocalyptic, turned on the lights, but what can I say? I started to doubt again if this was the right decision I wanted the game to go. So I started thinking again, is Metroidvania even what I want to do? It's not that easy, like I said before. You have to do and think about a lot of things. But I have to grit my teeth and really do one thing at a time, step by step, and keep working. I came back to my previous fantasy idea and tried to figure out what to do next. I have created several more screens, just a basic layout, but it's already starting to take a shape. I've even made a draft of the entire world map with boss fights, upgrades and other important elements laid out. Now I have a much better idea of how to proceed. Of course I can't show it to you, but this was a big step forward. Another big news worth mentioning is that the game finally has a name. The Shadow Flower. Maybe it doesn't make sense or it's confusing, but the story and the lore of the game is already forming in my head and it seems like an interesting name. I don't want to reveal too much about the story until I'm 100% sure about everything, but we will definitely get to that in some future video. Anyway, it put new blood in my veins now, but unfortunately these 3 weeks were crazy. I didn't really do anything important. And as you mentioned in the comments, everything bad is good for something. And this is simply the development of the game. You come up with an idea, you try it and either stays in the game or very often it doesn't. But YouTube has to keep going. So these were my last weeks. I hope you are not disappointed that I didn't show anything new, but game development is not all fun and guaranteed success, and everybody should know that. But I think there is still a lot of stuff to show in devlogs in the future. So thanks to all of you who watch my videos and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!